Big round of applause for Michele Oberholtzer. Michele, come on up. Come on, let's give her some more love right now. First lady for tonight. Hi, Michele. Thanks. Nice and close to the mic and pick the next storyteller when you're done.
Okay. All my life, I have been building, gaining knowledge, making plans, forming relationships, building. But for 9 years, there has been a black mold inside the foundation of my life structure that undermines everything I pile on top of it. It comes in many names, but you could call it perfectionism, insecurity, anxiety, and I think I know why they call it a vice. It's because no matter what you do to try to get rid of it, it clings tightly, defying every effort you make. For a long time, when I couldn't get rid of it, I ignored it. But untended, a cancer grows. And when it came to the point where I realized how deeply it had spread, it was too late. I decided that I would clear away the structure of my life until I reached a level where I could finally purify myself. About a year ago, I ended my marriage. It wasn't his fault, but my marriage was deeply intertwined with my problem. And I just simply couldn't solve it within the scope of my relationship. Ending the marriage meant leaving my home, my best friend, and all of the stuff we had together. My world got a little narrower. And almost immediately after that, I was in a car accident. The seatbelt broke my sternum, damaged my lungs and 4 ribs. And I spent the last winter in a very small little world of healing, working, sleeping, and healing some more. And with the spring, I felt like new again. I began to make plans and to build a future. But the problem wasn't gone. It was just kind of hiding. I couldn't really believe it. I felt like, oh my God, haven't I given up enough? So I lashed out everything that was left. I left New York City. I left my job, my friends, and everything that I had there. And I decided I was really going to go back to basics, backpacking, just myself and nature and whatever I could carry. And I wouldn't return until I was cleansed. This wasn't an escape, I thought, but a reconciliation, a chance to face those parts of myself that I had ignored for so long. And partway along the hike, I passed through a place called the Jordan River Valley, which contains the 45th parallel. It's a midway point between the equator and the North Pole. And in that sacred place, this atheist baptized herself into a new life. I decided that I would leave behind the demons that had chased me for so long. I cried tears of gratitude and joy. It was finally over. It wasn't over. I cannot believe how many times I have learned the lesson that I am a worthy adversary to myself. Even after that symbolic rebirth, after leaving everything of my life, after walking 700 miles by myself, it still chased me. I guess I learned that you can't schedule an epiphany. Things happen in their own time, in their own way. And I feel like it was a little naive to think that I could have just forced myself into recovery. But then again, I don't blame myself. When you have a problem that needs to be solved, you have no choice but to keep trying in every way you can to fight it. I haven't told you what it is yet. And in some ways it doesn't really matter because I finally realized that we all have our vices, our problems, our own demons to fight. But on the other hand, it kind of really does matter because I spent so much time trying to fight it and hide it that all I need now is to just face it and be open with myself. So I'm telling you, it is bulimia. It has affected almost every day of my life for 9 years. And I know that one day I will be able to look back and say, I had an eating disorder and it's over. And I can't wait for that time. But I know that the person that I'll be when I get to that point will not be perfect. I won't reach that point by getting rid of the mold or the bad and ugly things I don't like about myself, but by finally facing them. I will be able to build a new life that is stronger than the one I had before because it's based on a complete version of myself, not just the parts that I like. With my faults, I can never be perfect, but without them, I can never be whole. Thank you.
All right, big round of applause for Michele. That's